Hey guys, Kakarot197 again. This time with a review of the high-grade RX-78-2 Gundam from the original Gundam series provided to me by my favorite online hobby store, Hobbylink Japan. And since this thing is leading in the poll for the next review, that is what we're doing. And I only have one conclusion for that. I guess a lot of you just looked at the box art and thought that this was going to be a really cool thing, because even though I've said I do not like the proportions of the Beyond Global Gundam, like Beyond Global RX-78-2 Gundam, I gotta say, the box art is really cool. Like, even the proportions of the thing on the box art don't look too bad, and then you've it looks like it's breaking through the atmosphere, where it's got like psycho frame stuff going on with like the blue light and whatnot. And I guess this is supposed to be Earth. It looks a bit on the gray side, so at first I thought it was the moon, but you know, it's Beyond Global, so I guess the Gundam is trying to escape Earth. I mean, if this particular model kit wanted to escape from Earth, I would let it, so be my guest. So yeah, as I've already in this short time made abundantly clear, I am not the biggest fan of the way this thing looks. Now, this wouldn't be the first time that I build a model kit that I don't really care about, or that I think I'm actively going to dislike, and I end up liking it. I don't expect that to be the case here, but I am willing to go into this with an open mind, because I am not ruling out the possibility that it's going to be what I personally call the Revoltech effect, where if you just have the thing standing in a neutral pose, it kind of looks like shit, but then when you put it in like a cool action pose, it's almost as if the model kit, or in Revoltech's cases, the figure, was designed to be put in a certain position where those proportions suddenly look really good. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So the big thing this thing has going for it are the beautiful poses it can do, and articulation abilities and proportions that are a culmination of 40 years of Gunpla technology. If 40 years has given us this, I think I'd like to go back to running in the 90s. We get some more images of this version of the RX-78-2 replicating famous scenes from the anime, and then we also get to see some of the internal details of this thing. Now, I gotta give it credit where credit is due. That inner frame does look pretty damn nice for a high grade. And at the very least, it is better than the English on the box. Experience the beautiful forms that consists of articulation when posing the kit. Understanding, I do not. Anyways, let's open up the box and see what is hiding inside of it. And as always, we are starting off with the multicolored A-Runner. And purely going off the runner, I would get excited for this model kit. The detailing is exactly the way I like it, and the coloring of all of the parts is done in such a way that it's still the RX-78-2 colors, but they're all slightly more realistic. Of course, the main word here being slightly. Like, the white is slightly more cream colored as opposed to a pure white. Then the blue is kind of like a sun faded blue to stand out a little bit less. And then the yellow is just a nice dark yellow, just the way that I like it. And then you can also see some other small details on this runner, like the Vulcans are molded, the V on the crotch is also molded. Like, this is a kind of stuff that would get me super excited about a model kit, but then it's just those proportions. I really hope this is going to convince me to at least somewhat like the model kit, but nope. Well, again, we'll see how that goes. And then one more thing that I gotta point out is that it also has remold markings on it. I guess this could have been used for the G3 remold, or maybe we're getting some more remolds in the future. Then moving on to the B1 and the B2 runner, and this is again that very nice creamy white color, and again it's got some really nice detailing on it. And also, those thighs look pretty thick. Next up is the gray C1 runner, but unfortunately we do not get a C2 runner. I guess that's where the Hyper Bazooka went. This is then followed by not one, but two D1 runners, and I just want to say that I do dislike it when they do this because it just makes me feel like I lost a runner or something. If I'm getting a D1 runner, I'm kind of expecting a D2 runner, unless it's like a remold of something, which as far as I know, this thing isn't. Oh, talking about remolds, one interesting thing also is that the box is 2020, but the parts are 2019. Then we get one E1 runner, and again, it's a nice change of the original RX-78-2's color scheme. It's kind of a burgundy red rather than a bright red, so again, it keeps the RX-78-2's color scheme and just makes it all a bit more subdued. So at the very least, this thing is gonna have a quite cool color scheme. And then finally, we get the F2 and F1 runner. And I was again impressed by the amount of detailing they put on this thing. Like, what especially caught my attention was this backplate for the shield. The shield and also just like weapons in general are typically something that has less attention put into them, especially on high grades. So to see this on a normal high grade is pretty impressive. And then finally, let's have a quick look at the manual. On the cover, we get the extended image of the box art, and then on the back, we get a quick overview of the Gundam and the role that it played in the story. And what is really cool about this is that they do go into quite a bit of detailing on everything. Like, they gave us the backstory of the Gundam itself, the legacy that it brought forth. So not only is this thing kind of a celebration of the legacy of the Gundam model kits, specifically like the RX-78-2 model kits, because it even gives us a quick lineage of all of the RX-78-2 model kits that are in existence, at least the ones from the mainline canon series. And I kind of lost where I was going. So it also tells us about the in-universe influence of the Gundam. After the extremely high performance that it displayed, many more Gundams were made, and then it also kind of tells us what it means to be a Gundam. Some of them were designed to test out the latest technologies, whereas others were made as symbols for organizations. Think, for example, the AUG. And then as for the equipment that it comes with, we've got the beam rifle, the XBR M7907G, that is straight up a portable mega particle cannon with the firepower of a battleship. We've got the Gundam shield, the RX-78-008/S01025. I wonder if there is a meaning behind that. I mean, the SH is obviously shield, RX is Rampo experimental, M, I guess, could be for medium, because like small could be the ground type, and then large could be used for something like the gym guard type. But whatever, this isn't question of the week, this is the unboxing of the Beyond Global. Finally, it also tells us a little bit more about the Beam Saber. So then, all that's left to do now is to go ahead and build this thing and see what I think of it in the end. So that's what I'm going to do right away. If you want to buy your own, there is a link down below. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow with a review of this thing.